Well, there's no intro today because today we're jumping right into the topic, which is how do you actually build a fan base online? Because a lot of people ask me that. A lot of people ask me that, and there's some things that I want to talk about. Just running around somewhere. I have no idea. So we're gonna talk about how to build your. All right, let's just do an intro. We're gonna talk about how to build your fan base online after the intro. Bye. Welcome back, my friends. I'm actually in the middle of something here. We just got a boat from somewhere, and they told us not to get close to these things, but for some reason we managed to get, of course, only come close to these things. Anyway, here's the thing what's going on right now. We're having problems with our boat. It's not really good. We're not.
How to go there?
Yeah, that's how to go there. We're having problems with our boat. Anyway, today we talk about how to build a fan base online, because probably that's what you want. Don't ask me, by the way, how I got to be on a boat. There's something wrong with the boat that we have right now. We got stuck in some sort of way. Thanks, by the way, for the nice autofocus that we have here, Panasonic. Anyway, we're talking about how to build a fan base online, because I feel like that's the thing a lot of people are struggling with. I feel like, for example, I do have some mentorship students, and one really common theme among almost all of them is they're kind of struggling to, they're like, all right, let's roll it up from another side. If you look around the internet and type inside the internet how to build a fan base, how to build fans online on social media, first person that's gonna come up is probably a guy called Gary Vee. So what does he say? If you listen to his advice, he's like, yeah, there's basically two things that you have to do in order to build a fan base online. First of all is spit out tons of value, basically positioning yourself as an expert and helping people spit out value. In turn, people are gonna give something in return. That's number one. And number two is documenting versus creating. And these things, of course, the guy knows. The guy kind of knows what he's talking about. But a lot of people don't understand that in the right way. At least that's what I think. So let me tell you what I think is the case, and let me tell you how I used all of these concepts, maybe even more, to my personal example. And I kind of wrapped it around, a personal thing, wrapped around how practical example, my practical example, and examples of my clients. So first of all, clients, mentorship students that I take along, push through the whole journey of creating a personal brand online. There's one common thread among them, and that's like, yeah, I cannot put myself out there yet. I cannot give so much value out there. I cannot teach people things because I don't have the status yet. I don't, why should I? I don't have, the social proof. I'm not the guy, I don't have that many followers yet. They don't know me. And why would anybody listen to me at all? Why? They wouldn't. I'm just a regular guy, and I probably don't know much. That's what I'd say 85% of all of my students that I have right now tell me. That's actually one thing that a lot of people call the imposter syndrome. It's like when you do some things, when you kind of have some success online, stuff like that, your body's like, yep, that's not you should not be here. It's like you're kind of a faker and stuff like that, which is another thing that we're not going to talk about in this episode. Let me just tell you about my personal example. When I started my channel here on YouTube, I was mainly talking about Instagram. I still am. But my first kind of videos, I actually didn't really know that much myself. It might have come across that I was like, yeah, I know my shit, but I was probably just 1 or 2 steps ahead of all the people out there. I think my first video was about the shadow ban. It was basically just some things that I thought were right, and I was just trying out things and trying to tell you some things. And after this video, it was only this first video, I noticed people were like, oh, they think I know my shit. They think I'm the person that really knows what's going on, even though I wasn't. I kind of felt like an imposter at that time even. So the thing that I wanted to say is, that actually a lot of the times people are being held away from even starting their things online just because they think, oh, I'm not a expert, whatever. Point is, myself included, and I know a lot of other people that kind of started their own personal brand online, is they were not experts, and you don't actually have to be an expert at whatever. Of course, you gotta have to be something that you're good at. You gotta have to be something that you're kind of interested at, and you just have to be like 1 or 2 steps ahead of the curve, which might sound kind of weird, but just because we're between us 1,000 people, whatever. When I started, I wasn't that big of a, I didn't know that much about Instagram, about marketing. I just tried out my stuff, kind of tried to share my stuff with you. You know what I mean? And this is exactly what you do. Second point that I want to get across here about my mentorship students. About 85% of all my mentorship students, they kind of have a common thread going on, which is, why would anybody listen to me? Why, I'm not an expert. That kind of ties back to the first thing. But the other thing is, what if somebody views my channel? What if somebody sees that and has, kind of corrects me, or, somebody who I work with together, somebody who knows me, or some other people in the industry that literally see that I am not that big of an or not as big of an expert as they are, for example. And the thing that I could just say to all of you guys out there is, it doesn't matter. They're not gonna watch it. Probably, chances are, if there's some experts out there, other people out there, they don't have time to watch your thing. And this is actually one big thing that I tell each of my students is the most important thing is that nobody, oh, look at the boat's gonna crash. We crashed it once already today, right?
Yep.
Yeah, anyway, one thing that a lot of people tend to forget, or actually the biggest thing in terms of when you build your personal brand, is nobody gives a shit about you. Nobody cares at all about you. They just care about themselves. So meaning the people that you're kind of afraid of, that they're gonna watch your stuff, they're not gonna, first of all, chances are really slim that they're gonna watch your stuff. Second of all, those people that watch, and you saying something's wrong, it just doesn't matter. It does not matter, It's actually good that you don't know everything, that you kind of have a lot of things to learn, that you kind of go through a thing. Because why? People, first of all, love to come along on a journey with you, especially if you're kind of a new creator. That's what I noticed. Recently, people love to see new opinions. People love to see if someone is new, fresh, with a fresh set of eyes, right? Yeah, there you go. Proves the point. Anyway, point being, if you want to build a fan base online, the biggest thing is actually starting. Okay, I've probably said that a lot already in my other videos, but point being, this is starting. If there's something keeping you from doing these things, if you're a bit afraid, your boss is gonna see it, some other people are gonna see it, other influencers in your niche that you work with, whatever, are gonna see it, and then judging you in some sort of way. If that's really if that's really the thing that stops you from making these things happen, that probably this whole thing is not a thing for you, and you should go a different way. And it might sound kind of harsh, but still, just go along, just figure it out as you go along. Nobody cares. They actually love it if there's some roadblocks, there's some things not going. They actually love it if you tell them, right? I don't know jack shit. And sometimes I actually don't know jack shit. Just tell you how it is. Sometimes I myself even feel like a big imposter in some sort of way when I'm in some business meetings with some people, and I'm like, lately I was at an event with some very, very crazy people that I looked up to my whole life. Like, it was not even in my brain that one time I'd be able to be next to them and with them, and I was like there thinking, why? I don't even know. I'm kind of like the small kid from years ago. I remember watching these people do their thing. I'm not allowed to talk about it, unfortunately, but still, and I still felt like an imposter, which, though I know it's just in my brain, just the big thing is try to be confident. If you don't have confidence, you might fake a little bit to appear more confident, and this is the only thing about faking till you make it that's actually true out there. I feel like a lot of these people understand it the whole wrong way, because it's actually quite the opposite. It's appearing really relatable. Telling them if you don't know stuff, whatever. Telling them if you're a roadblock, whatever, and stuff like that. And people are going to start to relate to you. People are going to start to become fans with you. And basically it goes from there. If you want to know how that whole thing can be applied to your specific situation, go down to heyDominik.com, by the way, fill out an application. Let's talk on the phone about how we can actually use whatever I said right now, whatever I say in my channel, use it to your own specific situation and make something great to build a personal brand that sticks, a sustainable personal brand where you can, just go somewhere, get a boat and get lost with a boat. Anyway, this has been it for today. My name is Dominik. Wish you happy days. I'll see you in a couple of days, weeks, we don't know. Bye-bye. Point being of this whole video is that building a fan page, building a fan, what's it called? Building a fan page. Oh, come on.
Someone need the vitamins for what?
Brain vitamins.